You're watching Oilersnation Radio.
May I introduce you to a podcast starring Nation Dan, Liam Horban, Tyler Yaremchuk, Rick
Wiedemann.
I was going to say Weidman. I always want to say Weidman like the player,
Weidman?
but it's not.
Yeah.
The Weed Man.
I thought it was Wiedemann. It is Weidman.
Oh, yeah, it is Wiedemann.
Never
Wiedemann.
knew you had a
Wiedemann.
last name.
I always want to say Weidman because Rick hates refs.
I thought you were like Adele.
Just Rick.
Oh,
Rick Wiedemann, and I am Bagman.
That honestly might be the first time most of our listeners have ever heard your last name.
That's the first time I've ever heard it out loud.
I don't think I've ever heard
I've known you
say
for
it.
a decade, and that's the first time I've heard your name last name.
That's
out loud.
fair. I don't think. Yeah, I don't use it very often.
Just Rick.
Yeah, just Rick. Like in my phone, it says Rick Pint.
Yeah. What else do you need?
Nothing.
So yeah, everyone who works at this company is like Tyler, Oilers Nation, Dan, Oilers Nation,
My name
Rick,
and yours.
Oilers
Yeah.
Nation.
Your
What is
name.
my name and yours?
Your government first name, then Oilersnation.
Mine
And
is a
Dan's
terrible.
is Dan Oilersnation.
Mine is a terrible cover up because it's your government name and it just says bag milk. That's all it does.
Just in case he forgot what
Just
to
in
call
case.
you.
Yeah.
And since the day I started here, mine just says bag milk.
I go first last name for Rick.
Look at that.
Did I spell it right?
Well, that is a tricky one.
No,
Rick is a.
the E goes before the I.
I spell
I
it-
before
I spell
E
it like the
except after
news.
C.
I spelled like the news did that time when you were Weed Man.
Oh, that was great when you were the weed man.
Yeah, that's a while
Yeah.
ago now.
The Weed Man. Coming to
Dan
a
is Nation
theater
Dan
near
in my
you.
phone.
Du-du-du-du.
I think it's just Liam. I think he's like Adele. Just Liam. I only know one.
You only know one Liam?
I think so. I'm older
Well-
than you, so it wasn't the popular name. If you look at my government name in my phone, there's hundreds of them.
Oh, easily.
You know.
I hope I live up to expectations.
Well,
mean-
if I meet another one, who knows what I'm going to label them as? Do I have to change yours? I don't know.
We did hear this morning how you do Zacks. You labeled the Zacks in
Oh,
the
yeah?
company.
I
so
did. Yeah, I've numbered them now. Zach 1 and Zach 2.
You should change it next week and be like Zach number 1, and then when Zach from graphics starts talking, be like, oh no, sorry, Zach Lang's up to Zach number 1 now.
Yeah, you got demoted.
Yeah, you're
Keep them on their toes.
Listen, he's a half an hour ahead of Eastern time zone. He's that bonus half hour for Newfoundland.
Jesus.
He's
you know?
always so chipper in those 8:30 a.m. meetings, and I'm like, dude,
That's because it's 3 p.m. for
yeah,
him.
it's like the end of the day. He's having
Dude is
dinner.
drunk.
Yeah, it is already Wednesday for
He's well into happy hour drinks
3:30
already.
p.m. Don't forget that.
yeah,
extra half
3:30
hour.
p.m. for Zach 1. Zach 2 is probably still napping somewhere,
That's fair.
you know? Anyway, 3 minutes of nonsense to kick off the podcast. Let's start it off with a delicious debate for our friends at Wendy's. Wendy's is letting you win real food with your fantasy teams this year. And thanks to our friends at Daily Faceoff, you can make it happen at dailyfaceoffsurvivor.com. For those of you who smoke the competition, Wendy's is rewarding you with weekly prizes that will have you winning despite your lack of team building skills. Like, who wrote this? I want to know.
349 nuggets this week.
Did
Really?
Wendy's
Still
write this?
going.
Because why do they
Wendy.
think I have no skills
Wendy-
of any kind?
Wendy wrote it. I actually have a lot of
Wendy did?
skills. Yeah. I guessed correct on the Wendy's Daily Face-Off Survivor poll yesterday.
I did too. I'm on today too.
Nick Ehlers.
And he got it with 10 minutes to go in the game.
Did he?
Yep.
Didn't watch. Found out this morning.
Clip
Oh,
of that.
yeah.
Did you guys
Fist
pick the
bump,
same one?
please.
Oh,
That's really nice. You guys
Which
are
is
adorable.
usually I don't do that because Tyler's wrong often.
They spend so much time together. They're syncing up their gambling.
I've
things.
noticed this.
You know?
And I am broke.
Well,
Just kidding.
can't win all the time. Thankfully, we got a segment with our friends at Bet99 coming up. We'll win it all back.
It's true.
Download the Wendy's app and score yourself 150 bonus points on your first order and grab a sweet victory from the mouth-watering jaws of defeat, along with some fresh, never frozen beef. Sign up to Daily Face-Off to win weekly prizes like the spicy chicken sandwich from Wendy's and the Wendy's app. Tyler Yaremchuk. It is now the time when I ask you, what is the delicious debate for our friends at Wendy's?
Well, we all believe it's a cup year for the Edmonton Oilers,
Mm.
but the Western Conference is looking good. Now that the dust has settled post NHL trade deadline, I want you guys to rank the 3 biggest threats to the Oilers in the Western Conference. Which teams do you look at and go, they are going to give the Oilers the toughest time if we match up against them in the postseason?
Who wants to start?
I don't think it's that difficult.
All right, Rick's up first.
I think first is Colorado.
Okay.
Second's Dallas. And third is Winnipeg. Winnipeg being Winnipeg just because of the Connor Hellebuck situation.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen what he's done before. And if we've been goalied before. I don't see it happening, but I see
Connor Hellebuck has goalied us before.
I just think those three teams are better than anybody in the same division we're in.
Who's up next? Leho.
I will go.
I'm trying to make Leho happen.
Leho. One of my.
I'm trying to get L Dog going.
Yeah,
We got a couple of different ones going on here. So L Dog and Leho. There's got.
If you guys get a softball team going, and then I think L Dog will take off.
Well,
We've talked about that.
I can tell you another nickname I have, which is brought up from my girlfriend's Baba. So the first time I ever met her,
Baba, like her
Baba.
Ukrainian.
Oh yeah, no, I
Yes,
definitely
yes,
thought
yes,
your
yes.
girlfriend was going to a barber.
Yeah,
No,
me
no.
too.
Baba.
Baba.
Cold water.
That's
So
exactly what I thought.
we go out to the farm, and I've never met her before. So I introduce myself. I'm like, hi, I'm Liam. Blah blah blah. So later, the day goes on. I've been there all day. Bear in mind, had many conversations. Helped on the farm. Put some potatoes in the ground.
Watch the chickens.
Now we're having dinner, and Baba goes to the phone, and she's on the phone with whoever's on the phone. She's like, "Yeah, everyone's here." Lists everyone off, and then she gets to my name, and she's like, "Can't quite remember." So she goes, "And Lehman's here." Lehman. So now in that family, I am Lehman.
That's fair.
That's what they call me.
Mm-hmm. It's like
Doesn't
my
make any
sister.
sense.
Her name is Lynn, but my old man's girlfriend keeps calling her Linda. So now we just call her Linda.
That's fair.
You know, sometimes you got it.
sense.
Mhm.
So we've got three options.
Adapt.
Delicious debate.
Yes.
Which should take off? Leho, L Dog, or Lehman?
Many options. I like Lehman, but for my power rankings of the teams in the West, that would be the threat to the Oilers. Now, this is a different question than I had before. I'm going to say this. The Vegas Golden Knights would be number one, the Vancouver Canucks, and then the Dallas Stars. Because I'm thinking about it in this way. That's probably the way the Oilers are going to have to go to get to the Stanley Cup Finals. Therefore, one thread at a time, Vegas would be the first, then Vancouver, then Dallas. Right?
I see your
My
logic.
line of thinking is adding up.
Yeah, I think I actually do agree that Vegas is number one just because they proved last year they can beat us. They look like they're going to be a better team than they were last year. It's a tough matchup for the Oilers, especially with the way Bruce Cassidy coaches. Like, I think Edmonton will have a really hard time with Vegas whenever they end up meeting them. My two is going to be, I think my two honestly might be Dallas. I think that blue line's really, really good. Jake Ottinger is like a high-end goalie.
Craig Ludwig isn't that good, though.
It's very slow.
Mm-hmm.
Grant Ledger, you can just take him wide on his left.
Go wide. Darian Hatcher,
Improving.
he can't play in this game
No,
anymore.
he's not getting away with all that stick work in the crease anymore.
And then I think I would go Winnipeg as my three because Hellebuck scares me more than the Avs do.
I don't think the Avs, and I'm not undervaluing them.
Yeah, you're putting Vegas above the Avs right now.
I don't think the Avs are as good as we're making them seem.
I think that's what I've been thinking the same thing about Vegas for the last couple of days.
But I think Vegas are
Are they
getting
not
a little,
one game over 500 for?
I agree.
Essentially,
They're getting a little
November?
overrated, but healthy. Like they've got a lot more threats than I think what Colorado could give.
Yeah.
Like I'm not taking anything away from like McKinnon.
Vegas
and
doesn't have
Ranson
Nate
and-
McKinnon. Vegas doesn't
No,
have Cale
but
McCarr.
also Vegas' second line is Stevenson, Mantha, and potentially Stone or Marsh or so, whoever you want to play. Where Colorado's second line is Brandon Duhaime, Casey Middlestad, and Jonathan Drouin.
The fact you did that without looking at anything is very impressive. By the
I
way,
did this 30 minutes ago.
I take it all back.
Power Leho move.
I just find it funny. Like Mantha was reportedly coming here, and people told you all the bad things about him. Then Mantha gets traded to Vegas, and they tell you all the good things.
I
about
wanted
him.
Mantha.
I'm just saying. There's as the rumors were out there that Mantha could come here. You heard a lot of okay this, okay that. You know, he's got consistency issues. And he's this, that, and the other thing. But then he gets out to Vegas, and now
All of a
it's
sudden.
like a brand new Jack Eichel again. It was like the goalpost moving for me, but we'll see what happens here throughout the rest.
Anytime
remainder.
I hear about anti-Manta, it always reminds me of that old show, Man Tracker. The
Oh,
guy on the horse.
Manta.
Anti-Manta. He's my auntie.
Goalie,
Fair.
anti
Like
renta.
anti-Ranta, but
Anti-Manta.
different. I like
But
that.
I'm you're derailing my
sorry.
concern for Man Tracker. He was a man on a horse who would come find you in the woods.
What a
Barely-
crazy
That
show.
was, that was
Did he
a scary
find-
show to watch.
Did he find Shane Doan?
was.
Or did Doan stay
I don't
away from him?
remember.
I forget.
It's a good question.
Has anybody found Shane Doan since then?
Probably not.
Still out there hiding.
Yeah.
OLN's
really good.
trying to find Shane Doe, and he's been lost for years. Anyway, shout out to Man Tracker and Anti Manta and Anti Ranta and Leho.
I agree with what you're saying about
Man Tracker?
though.
Great show.
Man Tracker was a great show. 4:00 on OLN.
Yeah, come on.
Man versus Food comes on shortly after. OLN was great in that era. Duck
And then
Dynasty.
that little era where it would be Wild Avalanche next. Like they had NHL games for like 6 months.
Sorry, Liam, I'm
Man
cutting
Tracker, 6 o'clock.
Back to
6:30, Man versus Animal. 7 o'clock.
Man versus Animal?
Thrashers,
What's that show?
Panthers.
Just Panthers.
Was that the one
Panthers-
where people like eat hot dogs against a bear? What was Man versus Animal? What was that show?
I just made it up.
Fuck, that'd be a cool show though.
Mantha doesn't worry me. He's obviously a good player, and I agree with
What
what,
about
you're
Anti
saying.
Manta?
Anti-Manta, maybe. It's their blue line that's really good. Like the addition of Hannafin, like their second pairing is going to be, what is it? Alec Martinez and Shea Theodore. Like a pretty good group. It's the blue line that bothers me the most more than their forward group. I think the others can match their forward group in Vegas, which in Dallas, like they're kind of just a bit of a beast all the way through.
Yeah, I mean, Dallas brings out the best of the best in us, right? Like there was that game a little while ago against them that was. It went down to the very end. I
Yeah.
think, last couple of minutes at the very least.
Nation Dan, what's your rankings? 3 most scary Man Tracker episodes. Go.
Oh, I've just been listening to everything you guys say, and I think that the Thrashers and the Panthers game. No, I'm gonna just say Vegas is the number one still, because every time I watch this Oilers team play this Vegas team, it just feels like the Oilers team is beating itself even before it plays them. So Vegas is number one still, just because again they're at the top of the hill there. The second is Vancouver, because I think the road out of the West is going to lead through Vancouver with Demko there stopping the puck. And then third would be Colorado, probably for the same reasons as Vegas, where Edmonton just goes into those series against the teams that have a huge hype machine behind them. And it feels like we're not, like we're convinced that hype is all becoming, and the Oilers can't overcome it. And I've seen it against Colorado, and now we've seen it against Vegas in playoff series. So that's my
In
ranking.
April of 2011, Shane Doan evaded Man Tracker.
He did.
He did.
Attaboy, Shaner.
He probably took him out with some kind of dirty hit, though.
Slow, yeah. High elbow. Elbowed the horse. Down
Just
he went.
takes the horse
Outran
down.
the hold man.
Yeah,
Right
it's
at the
fine.
start of the show.
The ref doesn't see it. The ref didn't see it.
Ref didn't see it. For me, just to wrap up the delicious debate, I am looking at the Western Conference standings. Vancouver, I don't think so. They're not my pick. Winnipeg, I could see, because Connor Hellebuck is Connor Hellebuck, and he can just steal a series on his own. However, my rankings currently in number 3. I'm keeping Vegas at number 3 because the champs are the champs.
Mhm.
To beat the best, you got to beat the best. Last year they were the best, give or take. From there, number 2. Ready, Leho?
Ready.
Thank you. I'm going to make this happen. Dallas. Dallas is my number 2. They're fucking good. They're solid. Great goalie. Solid defense. Ability to score. My scariest team in the Western Conference. Maybe I should rearrange my order now that I'm doing this.
I was gonna say,
It's a
I don't
tough
know.
exercise because it's so close. Like those.
So you know what? I'm going to bump Dallas up to 1. I just think they're really good. And then I'm going to do Vegas number 2. And then my third will be Winnipeg, because Rick kind of convinced me with the Connor Hellebuck thing. And they're just a deep team.
Yeah.
They went out and get Toffoli for a bag of pucks, essentially, at 50% retained. And he's just a toss in on the roster. That was already pretty solid. So I'm going to give Winnipeg a little love.
Yeah, the thing with Dallas that really concerns me is when you look at that blue line now that they have Tanev, that top pairing too, Harley and Heiskanen, both skate really well. Like that feels like a blue line that was made in a lab to shut down Connor McDavid.
Dallas is just, they're solid, and they're getting scoring from, I'm looking at their stats right now. They're getting scoring from throughout their roster. Jake Ottinger can steal a series on his own, probably. They're they're just a really good team. And I feel like if the Oilers are going to get through them, like Rick said, they got to bring out their best. They have, but that would be a tough series to win. Anybody else? Honorable mentions, perhaps, outside your top three?
Well, how about I show you the rankings Tyler and Colby did on Daily Faceoff Live today
I'll allow it.
on the big screen.
Mm-hmm.
There you go, right behind you. Tyler's number one. The Dallas Stars, and then down to the Winnipeg Jets, Vegas Golden Knights, Colorado Avalanche, Edmonton Oilers, Vancouver Canucks, and LA Kings.
Wow.
Colby Cohen went Vegas number one, Colorado number two, Dallas number three, as Rick puts his hand on his head. Winnipeg 4, Edmonton 5, Vancouver 6, LA
So
7.
the question was, which rosters are best built to go on a long playoff run? And this is the order I came up with.
Crazy. It's hard to do. It's
What
not
do
an
you-
easy task.
What do you agree or disagree with? Let's just do Tyler's list.
If I'm a Vancouver Canucks fan, I'm outraged at this.
But I don't.
They haven't had any, for me, for Vancouver, they haven't had any, issues this year. Like, Thatcher Demko going down, you're going to see what that team actually is.
Because now it's the Smith is that goalie, right?
I just think that they haven't had any adversity. Like, you look at the Oilers squad, their start of the season sucked. We all had them written off in November, except Rick and I, of course. It was
They've
100%.
played more in the playoffs recently and all that stuff.
So I just think that the Vancouver is going to go up against a team that's just going to beat them up a little bit. I wouldn't say they're a hard team to play against, and that's big boy hockey that comes out in the playoffs.
I think if they play Nashville in the first round, they'll probably get through, but I think they'll have a really difficult time against them.
They might.
They're just going to wear them down. Like, they've got a lot of guys who have been to the playoffs on that team too, like O'Reilly, Yossi, Soros. They've been through the ring.
Funny, only one team on that list there has been on a 16-game winning streak this year,
To put it up.
and they're somehow in 5th place.
I
If
put
I
the
could
Oilers.
redo this, I might swap them in Colorado. I might have Edmonton 4.
Yeah, what kind of homer are you?
Yeah,
I
well,
also- and I
it was
also-
DFO Live. I can't be a homer
And
then.
I also don't
course you
think
can.
Vegas should be that high.
Of course you could be a homer on DFO Live. We need you to be.
I think I put Edmonton. Did I say 3?
I get Edmonton 3, yeah.
I had Dallas. Did I have Dallas Vegas or Dallas Winnipeg? One of those two, and then Colorado, and whoever the other one was, lower than Edmonton.
I got to read this next part verbatim, so give me a minute. For a limited time only, our listeners can get 25% off and 0 delivery fees on their first order of $15 or more when you download the DoorDash app and enter the promo code NATION25. That's 25% off, up to $10 and 0 delivery fees on your first order when you download the DoorDash app in the App Store and use the promo code NATION25. Don't forget, code NATION25 for 25% off your first order with DoorDash. Offer valid in Canada, subject to change. Terms do apply. Gentlemen, it has been a handful of days since our last podcast episode.
Mm-hmm.
The Oilers have played. The Oilers have won. The Oilers have lost. So I'd like to look at the last 4 days of your life, and you tell me, from my friends at DoorDash, who delivered for you. A couple of games in the mix there. Nation Dan, I'm starting with you down at the end of the line. Who delivered for you? Our friends at DoorDash.
It's a tough question. I want to give a shout out to the Buffalo Sabres social media team for having some fun with the shenanigans that happened at the end of the game there. If you can't laugh at the silliness that is, a team leaving the ice and then coming back and winning the game, you haven't been a fan of this game
Paul
long
Coffey
enough.
was basically in his undies when he rolled back out to the bench.
I love the communication on the benches there. I don't know. I should have had this prepped ahead of time.
We never do the segment though, so
I know it is on me.
This is who delivered?
I'm gonna give it. I'll give it to Pickard for his
How could you
shutout Sunday night against what I thought was a better Penguins team than what they seem to be trotting out these days. So Pickard with 40 saves on the day,
40 saves.
one of the quieter 40 save shutouts in the NHL's history.
Not
I was also
technically
gonna
a
pick-
shutout.
I was also going to pick Pickard. 64 saves and a 953 in those 2 wins over the Penguins. It is not technically a shutout, but that is also really unfair.
Yeah.
It wasn't his fault. He got called out by the concussion
Also,
spotter.
the Penguins didn't get a shot while he was out of the net.
Yeah. Stu was just there. He was stretching. He was.
Should have just gone with the empty net.
Yeah.
By the way, that was what the Minnesota Wild going
Yes.
empty netter and OT. Balls.
Do we think that Hines remembered the rule there?
I think so.
Okay.
I think
What's the rule?
that if you get scored on with an empty net and you've pulled the goalie in overtime, you lose the additional point. You lose the loser point
So if the Wild got scored upon,
with an empty net.
They
Really?
They don't
Yeah.
get a
They
loser
would have
point.
0 points.
what a random rule that is.
But also, you know how sometimes when a goalie gets pulled for the extra attacker and then they score on the empty net,
Sometimes, yeah.
like the other team scores on their own empty net.
That happened to the Crew on Sunday.
Okay, but what if that happened in 3-on-3 OT? Do you still not get a loser point?
I would assume you would not. Yeah.
If you follow the
Yeah.
letter of the law,
Yeah.
you would think that would be no loser point.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting.
Bruins should try it.
That was a big baller move. I liked it. Oh, just
Leo?
quickly on Pickard. I have a good cherry picked stat I've been using on every show.
Pickard stat.
Pickard's played 14 games. So if,
Pickard.
so if you go to NHL.com and you sort save percentages amongst goalies who have played 14 games or more, so you set the minimum to 14 games played,
He's in first.
he's in fifth. He's got the fifth best save percentage
Impressive.
amongst all goalies in the NHL who have appeared in at least 14 games this year. That's pretty good. 919 is very good.
For
Sneaky
your
picks.
backup, it's really, really good.
Calvin Pickard is doing everything you could ask the guy as a backup goalie.
Kind of gives you a little bit of like Mike Smith vibes where like the easy saves look very, very hard for Calvin
Sometimes he'll kick out a rebound. I go, whoa.
Pickard. Don't do that again.
Probably
Or one
adds
hits him
about,
right in the glove and it falls, and I go, whoop. But he covers it up.
yeah,
That's all that matters. He gets the job done.
Stop
probably
him.
adds about 8 more saves through his night.
Probably.
Every night.
Padding his own stats.
Smart.
Hey,
Yeah,
listen.
That's how you turn around and get a bigger paycheck.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
Can I give my who delivered to something that just happened?
Leho, are you next up on my order?
I thought you said my name.
Oh, maybe.
Probably.
Okay. Lehman, who delivered for you for our friends at DoorDash?
This one comes in from Gene Principe. So, but it's Alexander Ovechkin who will be delivering for me for this comment. When asked what it's like to play against Leon Draisaitl and McDavid on separate lines, Alexander Ovechkin replied, "We have Connor McMichael and Hendrik Leperrier on separate lines. We're good." So the Alexander Ovechkin will be delivering this, what I'm assuming is a comedic joke.
He's here for the lols.
He is here for the lols, and he's here to lose.
Mm-hmm.
So good luck tomorrow to Connor McMichael and Hendrik Leperrier.
Hendrix Lapierre. Get his name right.
Sorry, I don't
Tyler's
speak
favorite players.
French. God,
This guy must have played for the Blue Jackets or something.
unbelievable.
Was
Wasn't
First round
Hendricks a stick maker or something? Wasn't that the name of a stick maker? Maybe from the Mighty Ducks movie?
No, you're thinking of Jimi Hendrix.
Ah, that's
The
yes.
guitar.
Yeah, you
common
shred
common
on the
misconception.
guitar.
My bad.
Mm-hmm. You know?
How do you say his name?
Hendricks.
Leperrier.
Lapierre.
Lapierre.
Go look at it. What's the first two
Hendrik.
letters?
Henry Leperrier has
Really adding
14 points this season.
Harry LePerry.
Harry LePerry is what he goes
Harry
by.
Leperrier
Yeah, only
and
32 games.
Connor McKnockoff have no chance against the Edmonton Oilers tomorrow night.
Of course not.
That's a great who delivered for the games against Pittsburgh and Buffalo.
That's fantastic.
That's why he's Lehman. Tyler, you're on check for our friends at DoorDash. Who delivered for you?
The Oilers' second line. Ryan McLeod, Warren Fogle, Leon Draisaitl. They threw that trio back together for the game against Buffalo. Bang, instantly paid dividends. This team is better in the long run when Connor and McDavid are split up. This team showed during the 16-game winning streak that they are better when McLeod and Fogle are wingers next to Draisaitl. Keep this line together forever now.
Better
Yes,
when
I-
who's
yes, I heard
split
that.
up?
Yes, I heard that.
Connor
His
and
name's
Leon?
Leon Draisaitl.
What did I say?
Connor,
McDavid.
and then you said McDavid.
Yeah.
Connor and McDavid.
Yeah, you gotta
Do you
They
not
are
forget
better
his
together.
name?
No, you said they're better apart.
Connor and
McDavid.
Leon. Connor and Leon.
Connor
Sorry.
and McDavid are better together.
Unbelievable.
But Connor and Leon are better split up.
Yes.
So my who delivered is the new look second line.
I think the Oilers are better when they're split up. I
That's
think
not
they're
very
I
T-dog
think
of you.
they are probably better when they're together. However,
The line of McDavid, Nuge, and Hyman at 5-on-5 outscores the opponents at a better clip than McDavid and Draisaitl on the ice together with whoever is the third.
well, I was gonna say, first of all, you had 3 forwards. Second of all, you had 2, so that's not even fair.
No, it's just Connor and Leon.
And what if
with,
you go? And what if you
Connor
go?
and Leon with anyone else next to them? Any of the line mates they've played with this year. So
What about
Hyman?
Ty Ratty?
I'll get Rick. I'll get you the stats, buddy. You look how
Well,
fast I can
the real
Google.
answer was Darnell Nurse. The man looked like a player possessed in the game against Pittsburgh. And, I'm not giving him a free ride on the Columbus-Buffalo games, but I think the team kind of lost a little bit of the focus on those two specific games as you just got past the trade deadline. So I think that took a lot of, I think the players are feeling a little stressed going into that little bit there, whether you're about to be traded or not. You didn't know who was going to end up leaving. And yeah, like I said, they just didn't have their eyes on the prize for those two games, and they were able to fix that. And thankfully, Sidney Crosby is on the Penguins squad, so I think they kind of upped themselves for that. But Darnell Nurse looked fantastic in that game.
Darnell Nurse, first goal, obviously picked up too. First goal since January 11th against the Detroit Red Wings as well. So just a nice little pickup for Daryl. Has deserved a raise for a long time, and I hope he gets one.
Yeah.
Lehman, thoughts?
I think that Vincent Desharnais is currently on the Jason Gregor show. This is pretty cool.
You think he is, or he actually is?
I can see him.
You can see him.
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, and he's laughing. Seems to be having a good time.
Oh,
Is he
Gregor's
there?
full of lulls, though,
Did he drive to the
Yeah,
mall?
he's at the mall.
Oh, good for him.
He had to go to H&M. He said he had a return, so he just popped in.
Yeah.
Probably want to pop into Bubba Gum for some quick lunch.
Yeah. All right,
Smart
Rick,
man.
I have numbers.
Okay.
I'm going to hit you with facts.
Ooh, here we go.
With Connor and Leon on the ice, with anyone as that third line, it can be any player. The Oilers are outscoring the other team 28-16 at 5-on-5. With Nuge, McDavid, and Hyman as a line, it's 32-19 at 5-on-5.
Now, what if you do Connor, Leon, and Hyman? Because when you say any other player, I'm assuming that some players are going to be bringing the average down.
Like, yeah,
Connor, Leon, and Hyman are
fucking dare you.
outscoring the other team 19-6.
How about if you had Nuge?
All four of them on the ice at once?
No, get rid of Hyman.
Now we're talking.
I don't think they've ever been a line.
There was at least one time.
That trio has been on the ice this year
For this year, probably not.
for just 7 minutes and 48 seconds.
How many
Anyways,
goals? Probably a lot.
but here's
12
part two of my
probably.
argument. Here's part
12,
two of my
14.
argument. With all three of McDavid, Hyman, and Draisaitl off the ice, they get outscored 38-31.
Dan, do you remember what the argument even
That's not
was?
bad.
I'm lost here.
Nah, whatever. With Connor, Nuge, and Hyman on the ice, it's 32-19. With Fogle, McLeod, and Draisaitl on the ice, it's 11-3. So splitting them up makes sense. They get more goals and they don't get scored on as much.
But
Here's the facts.
wow.
There's a
That's
I
group,
feel like-
we need to add that to the board. That'd be very
there's
funny.
a group of people who do not know what that noise is.
Just like that, I'm back in 2001.
Yeah.
Oh, you do.
So my dad, this just brought back a memory for me. My dad runs his business out of our house. He runs a plumbing business, and he has a fax machine. And when I was a kid, phone rings and you're home, you answer it.
Yep.
And then sometimes you'd pick up an answer, and our fax line was the same number as our home phone lines.
Oh,
You just
had
had
to
to
be.
know not to pick up if there was a fax. So if you picked up the first time, you heard the fax noise, it was like, shit, someone's trying to fax something to my dad for business. I shouldn't have picked that up. So the next time they call you, leave it. One time I accidentally picked up twice, and the third time a different number rang. So I picked up, and the guy on the other end yelled at me. I was like, what the hell's wrong with you? Why do you keep picking up a fax line? And I was like, Jesus. I don't even think I said anything because I was like 13. I was just like, whoop, just hung up.
I'm just a boy.
Yeah, I just remember being like, what the hell's wrong with you? I was like, I don't know.
Nothing more enjoyable than sending a fax, you know? One of the simplest pleasures in life is just feeding that baby through and watching it go.
That's great technology.
Don't tell that to some of the
Sent a
GMs.
fax.
Me neither.
There's
You've
a
never once sent a fax? We are going to Staples as soon as this is over.
there's a GM out there who's not very happy with what you said there because I had to believe they had an issue sending in a fax once and the trade didn't go down.
Well,
Someone
Who?
left. That I don't really remember. I just remember it happened.
probably didn't put the area code in.
Nylander, the Michael Nylander trade.
Probably didn't put the area code in, you know?
Probably.
Can't just send it out. Fucking Jenny's not on the line, 8675309. What's the area code? I've been trying for years.
When did area codes come in for us?
87.
No, there's a well after that.
Oh,
It had to
man.
been. I bet you it was close to the.
No,
It was probably post 2000.
No, area codes were a thing.
The-
They were 403 back when I was born.
403
Yes, but
area
we didn't
code.
have to use it. We
No,
didn't.
no, yeah, yes. Dialing with the number.
When did
started
we
in the
have to start
2000s.
using
I've got the
it in the
answers.
2000s, right?
You guys are all yelling.
My guess, 2007.
Mine's
Oh,
2007.
oh,
Fucking
02.
amateurs.
It was the year 2001.
In
97.
Alberta, the 403 area code. Now, let me run through this because we've got multiples now.
Interesting.
In Alberta, the 403 area code was introduced in 1947.
Right. I remember that.
The 780
I was there.
area code introduced in 1999. And it split Alberta in two.
The Great
Now-
Divide, they call it.
We have two more area codes. 587 came about in 2008, and now I didn't even know we had this one. 825 came about in 2016.
In Edmonton.
When did you have to start utilize
asking
using
the
the 780 to make a
99.
phone call?
No.
No, you didn't have to.
No,
I remember as a
had to be,
kid
'cause we
not
got-
having to use
No.
it.
No, I remember when they broke it up, but we still did not have to use it yet.
Hmm.
You
Nah,
could
then
still
I don't
punch in the 7 digits.
Then I don't remember.
According to my search, that didn't start being required until 2021.
No,
Yeah, definitely
way.
not
either. That is
no
also
way.
wrong.
Goggles lying to you.
Man, I remember when the internet used to be smart and had all the answers. Now
I
it's
know.
stupid. It has no answers.
Like I feel like I've got
Yep.
some answers here, but not the correct answer.
That was good information. However, not the information we were looking for.
1999, hey?
Yeah, that's
Someone
about right.
listening to this will
We
know.
brought in a new area code just for the millennium.
Big moment for everyone.
Huge.
I remember being like, I have memories of when it came in. So that means I would have had to be like,
Oh, got it. I got
Older
it.
than
I
seven.
got
Oh,
it.
here
I
we go.
found it.
Hold on.
CBC,
You kept reading.
June 14th, 2007. It became mandatory
Oh.
to do a 10-digit dialing
Wow.
in September of 2008.
Wow.
Wow.
8.
2008. There's
was
your
right. I was bang
10-digit dial. So who
Holy-
delivered? Google. For
Yeah,
giving
I-
me the answers to a question we didn't know we
Yeah,
needed.
exactly. I take it back. I said the internet had all the answers. And
Well,
the internet still has the answers.
You weren't wrong. The internet peaked with Ask Jeeves.
That is true. I'm still trying to find things on Lycos and I can't find shit. You know? Anyway.
Sir.
Shout out to DoorDash. I love you. I don't like cooking and I don't like leaving. You bring it right to me. It all works. Use the promo code Nation25. Got it? Good. So I want to look back at a couple of games before we move on to the next segment here, just really quickly. What's the deal with Pittsburgh? Why they stink so bad, Tyler?
they're very old.
Mm-hmm.
They're the
not as
same
old
age
as
as
us.
they are the
Who's-
same age as us.
Who has the same
Who's
average
us?
age?
The Edmonton Oilers.
They're the same age.
Yes.
Well,
They're
Cap
the
Friendly
second
just-
oldest team in the league.
Last I thought I heard was we were tied with
Cap
them.
Friendly
Corey
just launched
Perry
this
fucking
morning.
ramps that up.
We are
though.
tied with
But-
Pittsburgh Penguins.
I think the difference is who are the old players on the Oilers and
Corey Perry.
where do they rank?
Tertiary players.
Yeah, the Oilers' core, their impact pieces are still young. Pittsburgh's core is getting old. Like Sidney Crosby is still an elite player,
Stud.
but Chris Letang's not the same old Chris Letang.
Beautiful pass to McDavid, though.
Great. Evgeny Malkin can't skate anymore.
It
looks
is wild how
terrible.
bad he looks.
Eric Carlson is
Hey,
not
I just
100
like
point
so
Eric
I
Carlson.
just think of the Penguins as the team I used to watch when they were winning cups and just how dominant Gino was.
you guys
And
remember
now
this?
it's just like, who is this?
You remember this time last year when people were adamant that we had to get Eric Carlson? That we had to?
We were doing it for the page views.
Eric
Good
Carlson's the
Lord.
second best player. I would take Eric Carlson on the Oilers.
at that price tag.
What a chance in
No,
hell.
but I would take him.
Just talk Pittsburgh might buy him out.
Give them to us for free.
Listen,
we'll
when they
take
buy
them.
him out, then we can get him for cheaper because he'll get paid for 2 places. Makes
That'd
sense.
be legit.
You know, I'm with Lehman.
Well, we
Yeah,
can
they
get him.
just-
We can give him that the veteran minimum.
Yeah.
The old Russell Wilson, if you will.
I just think if you're gonna have like expensive and old key players, you need to have that coupled with like a bunch of really good, fast, young roster pieces. And Pittsburgh is just old everywhere.
Yeah, you need to do the Tampa Bay style thing.
Yeah.
You're just so fucking mean. I can't wait till you're in your 30s and you're old.
Dude,
But that's
their average, their age is under every NHL team. Their average age is under 30.
Yeah.
It was not that long ago that we'd sit there and I guarantee you watch them like the Rangers and their average age would have been like 34.8 or something like that. Every NHL team, their average age is under 30. That is mind-boggling.
It's because you have
But-
toddlers playing now.
But I mean, like this offseason, Dubas made a decision going and making that transaction for Carlson that's what he was going to do is just kind of
One
rebuild
more
that
roll,
core.
one more go at it.
Rebuild the core
Whoops.
into a cobbled together 35, 34-year-old core.
I figured that I need another look at that trade. So
It
August
would-
6th, traded from San Jose with Dylan Hamaliuk and a 3rd-round pick in 2026 to the Penguins for Jan Rutta, Michael Granlund, Mike Hoffman, and a 1st-round pick at the 2024.
I think
draft.
Hoffman never played for them though, right?
No.
Michael Hoffman had never played a game. No,
I have to take a little bit of a retraction from episode last week. I know listeners are really going to care about this, but I was vicious towards Mike Greer, and I kind of took the weekend to think about it, and I really do give credit to Greer for, I think, chopping off some of the last years of that rebuild that we think or that I think everybody expects San Jose to be going through for the next 10 years. It's probably now going to take 4 or 5 years to rebuild instead of. No, you disagree, Tyler? Getting rid of Carlson, getting rid of.
I think so. I maybe agree with you, but where I think Greer's misstep was in how he handled his retained money transactions.
Fair enough.
Like for me, if you're gonna move Brent Burns, and you're gonna stink for a few years, call every team around the league and say, "I'm keeping 50% of him, and we're doing this." And you would have gotten a haul for $4 million Brent Burns. Same thing with Carlson. Like if you're going to do it, just do it and say, we're not keeping a mill. We'll keep all of it, but you're giving us your best prospect in a first round pick instead of like the hodgepodge they got for him. And then same thing with Hurdle. Like, okay, you were dealing exclusively with Vegas. Why not wait till the summer when more teams have cap space? Say, we're going to keep 50%. And yeah, like, will it suck to have 12 or 13 million bucks in dead cap space on your books? Sure. But if you can flip that into 3 more meaningful pieces to your rebuild, you're closer to being relevant.
Yeah.
But then you also have 15 million on the books for players you're not paying compared to like 3.
But all those players that you're drafting with those picks, not on your team for a year or two, maybe, then they play their 3-year entry level. Then by the time they need tickets, the dead money's off the books. You're ready to contend. And sign
the Minnesota kind of approach there. But
I don't know. I just feel like that was his mistake. Like, I like that Carlson had a 100-point season and they were like, yep, that's not happening again. Let's get rid of him. So like it made sense, but I just feel like he could have gotten better returns if he could have. Maybe it wasn't even on Greer. Maybe ownership was like, no, we're obviously not fucking doing that, because you're right, Liam. You're paying a lot of money to guys to not play on your hockey
nothing,
team.
Yeah. Especially when they buy out Vlasic or Couture this summer too.
Yeah. But I just feel like they could have done the teardown a bit better, because they got nothing for Burns and he's still a good player.
What was that trade?
I think it was like a third, man.
And he was the best player that they've traded.
And he's still good for Carolina.
Right.
Brent Burns.
Stinks like cheese, though.
Cheesy boy. Lane Peterson was in the trade.
Good for him.
Someone else. McAnemy.
I would like to hear
Steven Lizotte and a 3rd-round conditional.
That is
Steven Lorenz.
Those guys have played.
What did I say?
Lizotte,
Come see.
Lorenz. Same
People
guy.
spawned the language.
Yeah, and I'll say it how I want.
We literally, our whole livelihoods, Liam, our jobs are just to say hockey player names.
Sometimes you don't realize this, Tyler.
I want to have the second one again.
When I read the lines sometimes on the show, I will skip players I don't know how to say their names.
No, I realize.
Can we have the
is
second
great.
one again?
Steven
No, the first one then.
Brent Burns.
Etu McAnemy.
Actually, that's McAnemy. That's
So
his
you
name.
nailed it. You're
There you go.
giving Limo shit.
Holy
No,
Macadamia.
Lehman.
Limo.
Actually, Limo's kind of fun too.
Finding
I'm coming with
Limo.
all kind. Oh, finding Limo.
Oh,
Found
boy.
him.
That's a t-shirt.
Hey, you know what? We need to find you some football skills, because I watched another video of you.
Yeah, it was. He's like, what do you think of this? I was like, I hate it.
Have you tried to
Have
do
you
the
seen
old
it, Rick?
soccer throw in?
I'm good at that game.
Rick,
What
have
just
you
got
seen
me
the
in
I
my
video?
did see the
weakest?
video.
Lehman. Fuck, man.
Let's get more practice time. man.
Was just
I gotta-
dunking on him unnecessarily.
Totally unnecessarily. He has
So-
videos of me making shots. I've seen them.
So you need to have videos of Waz just pacing around the office, then post those out of context. They're very entertaining.
I'm gonna get one next time someone's having a conversation. He's just stood staring.
Hands on his hips, just kind of like hero pose for no reason. I love it.
Can you
I
do
remember
this
what we're
up for
talking
me?
about. Oh, it's Dan's time. Time
Oh,
for Dan's
yes.
game. But first, I got to tell you, nationgear.ca, the Robin Brownlee Memorial Auction is going on. We have got up next a Sports 1440 experience where you get to spend the day with the Sports 1440 crew, tour the studio, meet everybody, including Jason Greger, Kevin Carius from the big program. Watch the show live in studio. That'll be, and you and your friend will be going to the game on March 21st as well. Nice little price. Currently, Lehman,
Mm-hmm.
only $250.
It's got to get higher.
Got to get higher than that. You want to hang out with Gregor all day? Come on. You'd shake him down. He's got more than $250 in his pocket right now. I guarantee it. Tyler, thoughts?
You get Oilers tickets or tickets to a game in this package. That's worth money. And
It
goes
says
to
you're
good
going to a
cause.
game, not necessarily a hockey game. It could be one game of our choosing.
You're going to my beer league playoff games. Enjoy.
Exciting.
Crew game.
Crew game.
Crew game.
But it'll be cool. The 1440 studios are neat right there in the mall. And then getting to go to the game after as well. That makes this package worth it.
Pop on over to Bubba Gump. Have yourself some shrimp.
You'd have a day.
Mm.
You can sit where Vinny Desharnais is sitting, maybe right now, according to Liam.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. I can see him.
You guys
You
are
said
talking
you
about going
think
to the
he's
mall
there.
and not hitting some water slides. I have an
don't-
issue with all of you.
Not
I've
for
already
me.
tried to pitch a staycation element where we all go to the water park.
That'd be so much fun.
Mm-hmm.
I would supervise.
Why? You want to come in the wave pool?
I'm not a heights guy.
Well, you can come
What's
in the
wrong
wave
with the
pool.
waves?
I'm not a swimmer.
But some of the slides don't really.
They have a
We could
you don't
we could-
drop.
We'll get you some
just-
water wings.
we could get a pulley system for you, and we could heist
yeah, a
you
series
up,
of pulleys
hoist
and
you up.
levers.
That would
Mm, that would help my image.
You and I go into the wave pool. We find some kids with tubes. We flip them tubes
and
and
take them.
steal them, like I used to.
I used to just spend my entire
Water
day
park
in
a
the
couple of
Lazy
weeks ago.
Rapids, going up and down the Lazy Rapids the whole day. Because I'm
What's
right
with
there
that?
with you, Liam.
It's a casual
a
little.
swimmer.
That's a casual little laugh.
I don't do heights.
Mhm. That's nice, actually.
I want to go on a water slide that scrapes my back apart. That's
I
my
went
favorite
on
part.
last time I
Mall
went
of
to the West
America.
End Water Park like 4 or 5 years ago. I have one pair of swim trunks. It's my go-to.
They're see-through now.
They're white.
Well,
Yeah.
well, no,
I
they're
want you to see his schwanz.
they're watercolored actually, so they're like blue. They look like water.
What?
Uh,
He went in with them and he
it
came out.
makes sense
with
if you
none.
see 'em. But I went down one of the red slides, and it like the plastic burned onto my swim trunks because I went
Yeah.
too bad.
Which one's the
So
red
that-
slide?
The one that does the little loop now.
Oh, the upside down one.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
So I went
fair.
down that one, and it like burned a red mark like right on my ass. So now I'm always self-conscious to wear this good pair of swim trunks I have because it looks like my ass is bleeding. And I don't want people to be like, "That's not something you'd ever
Hey,
point
that's
out to
that
me."
Tyler,
Man, I think
your
your
rim
ass
check
is
ass
bleeding.
bleeder guy.
But people would definitely look at me.
Wait
Look
a
at my
minute.
ass. Like, is his ass bleeding?
I've never seen these shorts. I've seen you in the tub.
Well, it's good. That means I've been staring directly at my ass.
Well, if you ever see Tyler in any body of water, tell him his ass is bleeding.
And don't believe him when he says it's paint.
Yeah, it's not paint.
Never.
I've watched it so many times.
Nationgear.ca, join in on the auction. Go spend the day at Sports 1440. It's fun.
Oh yeah.
Maybe Greg will let you push some
Are they
knobs.
just putting them to work?
Yeah, I
Hey,
mean,
if
like you got to go out to the
clips, you gotta
farm
post
after.
Gregor clips.
You got to go out to the
Pretty sure
farm
gets the
after.
day
and,
off.
It's
that day.
actually
hang out with the cows.
whoever goes and does this experience is going to be surprised of how big that place is.
Mhm.
It
There's
is
a lot
pretty
going
big.
on
It
in there.
is big, and
Their
they,
cafeteria?
they also have a little bar
Yeah.
in there.
Maybe Gregor will give you a beer.
Maybe Gregor will take you for lunch at Bourbon Street. That's not in the auction. I'm just throwing that in there.
As a maybe.
I think
I
you
said
will.
maybe.
You
Don't
can
worry.
you can catch the shows in the Sea Lion shows.
Oh yeah. For
12,
sure.
Lovely.
12 and 4 every day.
Come on.
Some old spaghetti factory.
You don't want to
Fuck,
promise
you can weigh
Pinball
yourself
Clemens?
before and after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
Great.
Milk, you want to promise Pinball Clemens too?
Pinball will be there.
Can't guarantee he won't be there.
I'm not saying he will be there, but he might be there.
You'd be amazed at people you see at the mall.
You know,
Grab yourself a bag of jerky.
Shout out Will Hawk.
some pickled eggs. They're down there.
They are there.
Get your steps in. Park at the opposite end of the mall. Walk to Sports 1440.
Like Chris Pronger.
Come on. Come on. Nationgear.ca.
7 steps for him.
Get your
though.
bids in. You got 3 days on this one, people. 3 days. Nationgear.ca. Over to Nation Dan. It's time for a little 3v3.
In honor of our next opponent, the Capitals of Washington, we're going to be doing 3v3 that's a little different today. We're going to be selecting 3 capital cities from around the world and then a bonus of a capital letter, but it can't be from your name. So, Bag Milk, you cannot select the letters B or M. Tyler, you have a question?
I do. I'm very confused.
State capitals, provincial capitals, or only country capitals?
Only country capitals.
Okay.
Bag Milk, you
Because
have a
I
question?
just Googled top ranked capital cities in the world. Google has New York on there. Why?
Because it wants to fuck with you.
Because Google, Google's messing with you.
I thought Dubai was a country.
God.
Yep.
Is it
Tyler's
not?
going to have fun with this one.
No.
Tyler's going to learn about geography today. My outside, I've already picked my winner here. I've watched Liam play a flag guessing game on a plane. He is really good at it.
Stupidly good.
Watching Tyler do this is like when we flew to Nashville and we were like asking some of the younger people to point out on the map kind of where we were, and
Yep.
nobody got anywhere near to it.
Yeah, it's true.
So,
So
how many am I guessing, sir?
3 cities,
Three in one
capital
letter.
cities from around the world, not states, but
3 capital
capitals
cities
of world countries.
of the world.
And then one bonus, which is a capital letter from the alphabet, but not of your initials. So L and M are off the board for you, Liam.
Oh, so I can pick any capital city.
Yes.
Oh, I thought it was like I couldn't pick ones that started with L or H.
No.
No.
Nope.
Gotcha. Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right, let's do this thing.
So the order was selected ahead of time by, watched over by both Waz and Kennedy. Tyler, you are first on the board with your pick.
All right, gonna try snipe some ones that I don't think will be there on my way back. So I'm gonna start by taking London.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I like your style. Are you taking all 3?
Okay, no, he's just taking one. Rick,
Oh,
you're
yeah,
up
never mind.
next.
Oh, yeah, I'll
Rick,
take London
second
for
on the
sure.
board after London has come off the board.
This
First
is
pick.
because I think it'd be a really cool place to be, and also because it's kind of funny. Bangkok.
Great city.
Okay.
Great
Rick
city.
takes Bangkok. Liam, you're our next with pick number 3 in the capital
It's
city
the
draft.
classic way to punch somebody in the balls too. What's the capital of Thailand? What are you looking at over there?
I'm just googling articles that are the top 10 best capital cities in the world, doing my prep for this.
All right.
What was
Liam.
number 1?
Number 3 for Liam, pick number 3 after London and Bangkok off the board.
I will take Berlin.
Going to Germany.
The
Great city
Germany.
of Berlin. Bagged milk.
Everyone-
You are next.
I'm going to go to Leho's favorite city on earth, Paris, France.
God. If we were picking the worst 3 cities in the world, that would be 1, 2, and 3. God, that place sucks.
I am going to grab the capital of the Netherlands, Amsterdam.
Amsterdam.
And then I'm also going to pick the homer pick and take Ottawa off the board.
Where's that?
I don't know if
Heard
you
of it.
knew
Somewhere
about
near
it.
Canada, I heard.
Yes.
Back the other way now.
Back the other way, starting with bagged milk.
I love pasta, and thus I must pick Rome in Italy.
Rome off the board. Liam, you're up next.
I will go with Dublin since St. Patrick's Day is coming up soon.
Wow, okay. Dublin, Ireland.
good time
Liam,
to
Which is
visit.
also Rick Wiedemann's birthday.
It's true.
Is it really?
aggressive to take that right in front of Rick and his next pick.
I love Alashemsky, therefore I'm going with Prague.
That's a good one.
Nice.
Thank
Prague
you. Yeah.
is the pick. Tyler, you are up next with 2 picks off the board.
Shit, 2 picks. All right. Well,
you
for
know
my
that
first
many
one,
countries?
because I miss our Swedish friend Oscar Clefbaum, show me Stockholm.
All right.
And this is my last one, hey?
This is your last city or your capital letter.
Shit. This one is coming up on every top 10 I search, including number 1.
You pick New York City.
Yeah, I looked at his screen. I know
Oh,
exactly
what
why
the-
I don't know
why
if I-
Lehman is laughing so hard over there.
Listen, the more research I do on this one website said it had like 4 different criteria points, and this place ranked very high on all of them. I will be selecting Islamabad, Pakistan.
There you go.
Yep.
Tyler with Islamabad goes off the board. Rick, you're
I was
next.
going to pick that.
Rick, you have a capital letter and a capital city left on the board to pick.
Well, I'm going to go with a city here, and I'd like to speak for the city and just the city itself.
The biggest city.
Just the, well, no, I could
No,
have
you
the
can make
letter,
a capital letter,
but this is for the city and just itself in a vacuum on its own. I heard it's a lot of fun. Like I said, just the city in a vacuum on its own.
Here we go. Moscow.
Moscow.
Okay. Rick goes with the popular pick of Moscow.
Is that number
next
2 on
up-
your list? behind
Next
this
up is
little line?
Liam. And Liam, you're next on the board with your pick.
I will go to the land of animation, Tokyo, Japan.
This is the dumbest thing we've ever done. I can't stop laughing.
Beg
It's so
milk.
good.
Your city or
I gotta take it before someone else does. I gotta go with Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte out of Sri Lanka.
Another sleeper.
Sri Lanka's capital city has been taken off the board. I'm not going to try and pronounce it.
Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte.
Well, I'm going to draft the first letter off the board, and I'm going to draft the letter E, capital E, for Edmonton, for
Mhm.
excellence, Elks, all those good things. And then my capital city that I'm going to draft is Canberra, Australia.
Canberra.
Canberra.
Make it, eh?
There we go.
I've been there. There's a lot of museums and shit.
Grabbing Canberra. Beg milk, your letter that you would capital letter that you'd like to draft.
I'm gonna go with an A.
Drafting the capital letter A.
I'm first up. If you ain't
Perfect.
first, you're last, baby.
Liam, you get to draft a letter.
A letter.
Capital letter.
I will go
Please
with.
tell me you're scrolling through the website of the best letters in the alphabet.
He's got Sesame Street open here, and he's just looking at all the letters.
I'll go with Q for the Queen. The royal family have been catching a bit of heat recently, so let's not remember
Yeah,
where we
this'll
came
take some
from,
of that heat off.
folks. Q.
You're gonna go with some kind of acrylic, Rick.
No, I'm going to go with C for Captain Connor Mick
Oh,
David.
All right.
Also, the
Letter
W is
C.
gone. I couldn't take a W.
Off the board, and Tyler with the best bit. You're gonna close it off for me.
I'm going to take P.
That was the,
shit. What a draft.
Final
Capitals.
final episode of Dan's 3v3.
Listen,
It's
if
not
I
a
don't win
game.
for Sri Jayawardenepura Kotte, then this game is rigged.
Can't wait to send these all to Waz to have to put it on the back of the jerseys.
Well, there you go. Vote for me, people. Vote for me.
I
or
think
Tyler's
some of the
level P.
articles I read may have been propaganda.
Shit. Well, there you have it.
Tyler's going to a
Capital
dark,
talk.
dark place of the internet this evening.
Yep.
That was a crazy round of Dan 3v3. Not what I
Dan's 3v3
expected.
was
Today.
I was not expecting that. I was preparing like actual capitals.
Oh my God, we're almost an hour.
I had Mike Green on my list.
Yeah, I was gonna draft Robert Lang. Robert Lang.
Nathan Walker.
Boyd
Oh.
Gordon. Wasn't he play for the
commissioner.
Capitals? Yeah.
Yeah, he was the commissioner. Robert Lang didn't play for the
Adam
Oilers.
Oates.
I
Like
did not.
Robert Lang.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Well, let's just go through it right now.
Just another round at 3v3. Let's go.
List of Capitals players.
I want to talk about a little betting for our friends at Bet99. Of course, they're the #1 online gaming experience in Canada. They are built by Canadians for Canadians. Elevate your experience at Bet99 19+. Please play responsibly. Not available to folks in Ontario. I've got a couple of futures that I want to throw at you. Just a couple. One of them's juicy. One of them's a little silly. And I want to know how you feel about both. Liam,
Here we go.
the first bet I've got, courtesy of our friends at Bet99. Who do you think is going to win the Stanley Cup? Not team, but conference.
Ooh.
The Western Conference is currently plus 120 to win the Stanley Cup, where the Eastern Conference is minus 160.
Yeah, I
Because
saw
it's
that
terrible.
one.
All our teams suck.
I feel like this is easy money. The best teams are in the West, though I do think the road to the Cup is easier in the East.
Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like a few years ago, many moons ago now, when the LA Kings beat the Rangers in the playoff final. If I remember correctly, the Kings had to go through a bit of a gauntlet, and the Rangers didn't have it easy, but they were clearly the best team in the East. That's what I feel this year is going to go to. That series was like 5 games, something like that, right?
How about that?
So I'll go West.
West, Tyler? Or East at minus 160? We're
I
looking
like
at
the
some
payout
futures.
and the better teams in the West, so I'm gonna go West. I think the logic on the East though would be
Ooh.
one of those teams is gonna get through with a little bit of a maybe potentially having a round or two that's a 5 or 6 game series instead of having a gruel
A
out.
little bit of
7
a lighter
consistent.
load, perhaps.
Yeah, you might be a bit more rested, but still, I'll take the better teams all day.
Dan, thoughts?
oh.
East or West?
Liam has some breaking news.
Matthew Rempe suspended 4 games.
What do you do?
That's fair.
Elbow in. Jonas Siegenthal.
Are you not allowed to do
Or
that?
Jonas Siegenthaler.
Free Rempy.
Close enough.
We need him for
Free
hockey friends.
Rempy.
We need a
That's-
progress.
That's heavy.
If they're rewriting the precedents, I'm okay with it.
Well, he doesn't.
If they're
have-
trying to hand this out because Rempe's been a bit of a bulldozer since he started, then I'm not very happy with it. But
that's the perception.
as a
ahead of this.
precedent, I'm fine with this.
it was a phone hearing, so the max he could have got was 5, and he got 4.
A little discount.
Silly,
Mhm.
but that's my opinion.
Back to our friends at Bet99 after a little breaking news. Nation Dan, are you taking the East at -160 to win the Cup or the West at +120?
I just think the logic is there from the bettor's perspective, and that's why you're seeing that number, because the people are just confident that they're going to see the Bruins there, or they're going to see the Hurricanes there, or going to see the Rangers there, and so that's why they're betting on that side. But yes, if you're betting money wise, smart money wise, you're going to go in the West because you're more likely to get a contender out of the West than the East.
Rick, thoughts?
West
versus
is
East?
the best.
Mhm. This one, I just want to ask, is this disrespectful?
Yes.
These future odds from our friends at Bet99 to win the Jack Adams Trophy as the league's best coach. Currently, Rick Tocchet is favored at -425. Well, that's no fun. So I'm going to see where my boy Nobby is. +6,000 for Chris Knobloch.
Jump
Win
on
the
it.
Jack
60 to 1.
All day.
He's not like this will have nothing to do with him deserving it or not, Rick. It's will the voters move away from the consensus pick of Rick Tocchet, and they won't.
Because of
What's Tortorelli? It must be 2.
Tortorella's-
Tortellini.
he's
Yeah.
5,
He's 5.
24 to 1.
Who,
But, like-
well, what's the order?
So the order on Bet99 is Rick Tocchet -425, Paul Maurice +675,
What?
Rick Bonus at +1150, Peter Laviolette +1300, John Tortorella +2400, Peter DeBoer +3000, and then our boy, then it goes Rod Brendamore +5000, and then our boy Nobby at +6000.
What the heck?
well, it's. I
Tor-
mean,
should
Jacques
win.
Martin at +40,000.
Cool.
Shock, man.
I mean, those are a bunch. I mean, I feel like the coaches that you could have in the mix there that you're leaving out are ones that came in the middle of the season.
Well, Tortorella
Nobby.
has taken a Philadelphia Flyers team that was supposed to be the worst team in the league, or one of, to a playoff team, despite all of us saying they should sell all their players until the deadline passed.
Mhm.
He lost his starting goaltender, and now he's 5th on that list.
+2400.
He should be number 1.
You putting a shekel down?
I think I just don't think he's going to go that way. I think Tocchett's going to lock it up, and rightfully so. He's done a really good job too. Don't get me wrong, but like you said, kind of off the top, like what adversity has Vancouver had to deal with this season?
Have not.
Tortorella is gone through the ringer with that team. He's now suspended for 2 games as well.
But the pushback I would give there is, what expectations did Vancouver have of greatness this year?
I would say Vancouver expected to make the playoffs this year.
But
Philadelphia
When-
expected to be the worst team in the East this year.
almost pole from pole being the top team in the Pacific
And that's
Division.
very impressive too. But there's a difference between being a playoff team when you're supposed to be terrible to being a playoff team to be really good.
Yeah, I guess I just I see the Flyers falling out of the playoff picture more and more.
Ah,
The other thing too is like Torts was in Philly all of last year, right? Like he's had some time there. With
Yeah, I
Tocchet, you
guess.
you can point and see the difference in that team and in that locker room and with the culture from when he took over, and then again what he's been able to do this year.
It's a good debate. It's a fun debate, and the cool thing for me with from a betting perspective is that I don't necessarily disagree with your logic, and I think that the writers, the people that actually vote on this, are going to be thinking that way. So there is a chance that you could find some value there.
The other thing I wish our friends at Bet99 would have, I'd like to bet on Nobby just being one of the final 3.
I'd like
Yeah,
to bet on
okay.
Niart Ross.
Finalists
It's
bet
not there,
would be
by the way.
interesting
It's not there.
too.
No.
Hard trophy is.
Yeah, it's not the Niart Ross.
No, you're right.
But yeah, finalist line would be interesting.
That would be interesting. Bet99 is proud to have partnerships with Georges St. Pierre, Olivier Aubin-Mercier, CF Montreal, Georges Larac, and the Canadian Grand Prix F1 Montreal. Go check it out for your number 1 online betting experience. With Betway, we're going to take a little bit of little break here, and then we're going to bring Waz in for a quick round of. Can you clear that up for our friends at Snow Valley Aerial Park and the Rainbow Valley Campgrounds? Time for Waz's signature segment. It's not a game. Can you clear that up for me? Of course, Snow Valley Aerial Park is opening on May 31st. It's family fun all summer long. Attractions include the Aerial Tower, White Mud Creek Mining Company, Target Golf, which I say we all go to, And the all-new mini golf, of course, the Rainbow Valley Campground is this summer. You can take advantage of over 60 sites at 3 comfort camping domes right here in the city at Edmonton's only campground. rainbow-valley.com to book your spot. Can you clear that up for me with my boy Wall?
All right. Got a few clear me ups for you here, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't.
No.
How much of an impact does travel have on players? For example, the Oilers had a heavy trip recently going from Seattle to Edmonton, then Edmonton to Boston. Do you think travel can impact performance?
Yes.
I think eventually, once you've been on the road long enough, it drains you out a little bit, especially when you're kind of going across multiple time zones, multiple times and things like that. Like when they have these awkward road trips where like you fly to an Eastern team, then like they went to the Central time zone. Yeah. They went Boston, Eastern, Central, Columbus, then back to the Eastern time zone for Pittsburgh and Buffalo. I think that can mess with you a bit too. So I'll say yes.
I'm going to say was. The other day, you told me that daylight savings time screwed you up. Same thing for travel.
That was where I was going to kind of go with it. Like, have you ever, like anybody that's listening to this, stayed at a hotel, gone anywhere where your sleep gets disrupted in the middle of a trip? It can throw your whole thing off. And I think that's what Tyler was kind of just saying there. Time will suss out all kinds of issues for people as they travel for these things. So yeah,
I'm just going to say we have like teams out west have it worse than the teams in the east just for that travel. So that's where I say some teams have the advantage where some teams don't. If everybody had to travel the same, I don't think it'd be that big of a difference because travel's pretty easy for these guys now compared to what it used to be.
Yeah, but that is a reason why some guys love just playing on the East Coast, right?
We lost Mike Pekka in 2007 because he wanted to play out east, and same with Yaroslav Spacek.
Want to spend less time on the plane.
Yep.
Next up here, does the NHL playoff format need to change? Like, for example, we're likely going to have a third straight year of Edmonton versus LA in the first round. Do you think we need a new playoff format?
No, for the love of God, no. Sorry.
I
Tyler?
agree. No.
Yeah, like no, I don't think we need it. I think Edmonton playing LA again is exactly what this system is designed to do: create rivalries.
I think that the rivalry between LA and Edmonton is turning into a lot of fun, and I'd love nothing more than see it in the first round again.
I'm confused why you guys all think we're going to come in second, not first place in the division. Therefore, skip LA.
No,
however,
we're coming first and playing LA in round one because they're a wild card team.
Boom.
They're going to be the last wild card team?
Maybe.
Because you told us a couple of shows ago if we finish first in the division, we'll probably get first in the conference.
Yeah, who knows?
All right.
All right.
I was just gonna say, like, to me, it's when we instituted this new playoff format, like people were begging for some consistency, and you got it now.
But we always had rivalries. Like, go back to the mid '90s when we were always that 8th place team. Dallas, Colorado, we're always there. And it didn't matter which we played first, then the other one second, or vice versa.
Just consistency.
So this has built-in rivalries, which is the same. I think they were trying to like help out other teams in the league who were just like kind of nobodies getting by without a big, fan whatever against another team. But
they did it.
I'm fine with the way the playoffs are now, and I'm also fine if they go 1 through 8.
All right, next up. Clear this up for me. If someone tells you that Connor Brown is garbage for the Oilers, how do you respond? Because I feel he does everything right except score goals.
I would say you're right.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Who's right?
The person who says he's garbage.
Okay.
He has no goals this season. He's going to finish with less points than Tobias Rita.
You said this about Ryan McLeod for a little while too. Then Ryan McLeod has changed your tone.
Hopefully that triggers the same outcome.
I was calling Ryan McLeod fast Zamboni.
I think Connor Brown is good on the penalty kill and that stuff, what you said, but like eventually you need to score goals.
I called him
playing on the third line.
Fancy Leonard Petrol, and it turned out that was very disrespectful to Leonard Petrol.
Like, it's kind of like, I actually do think ultimately he's not been as bad as a stat line would show.
He's so snake bitten right now that it's just like,
he's not even trying to score though. Like that 3-on-1 there, he gave it to Lee or gave it to Darnell for the hat trick instead of going for the shot himself.
That shows he's a good teammate.
Yeah, but he did another one too he did another one with an empty net. He did it.
It's crazy to go through and look at the players who have had more points than him in an Oilers uniform.
And there's also the salary associated to it. There's the bonus, there's the carryover, there's a whole thing. So it's just like, it sucks. I don't want to shit on Connor Brown all the time, but it's hard to like.
It's exhausting.
He's not as bad as the arguments against him. However, you can't deny the fact he has 0.
There's the big 0 on the goal board, and it's just like that is going to stick out for everybody until he gets one. All I'm hoping is like there's 19 games left. Just get one, and then maybe go on a little run because your confidence.
Just score an important goal in the playoffs. That's all I care about.
Western Conference Finals, Game 3. He's scoring a goal for us.
God, if I have to wait that long.
You'll have no issues with it.
I also just don't care anymore.
But that's just it. We should not be sitting here hoping for our fourth line forward to score a goal because it's
He's
going to do
our
something
third
for our
line.
team.
Right,
Yeah,
when
he's
you-
third. That's fine. That's another conversation. However, when he does something, when he does something in the
Yeah,
playoffs, it'll mean something.
All right. Thank you for clearing that up for me.
You
You're
don't leave
welcome.
anywhere, Waz. I got you. I need you to clear something up for me. Why is poor Lehman taking shrapnel with his terrible football skills video when I've heard that you have a video of him actually draining some of those football shots?
Oh, yeah. I think those football shots, I must have deleted them. So the ones,
Oh, yeah, nice.
So,
What a dick.
Real-
I was trying to
real
bring
space.
phones and we lost
first
some
one
of the
was not a
files.
shot at your ability. It was just to find something angry happening, and you seemed very angry at the time, and we weren't doing well in the game. It was just, I don't know, you just part of the shrapnel. That's what.
I wouldn't consider that cleared up for me. Thank you, Waz.
Yeah, no worries.
Liam clearing up where the door is for Waz.
There he goes. There goes Waz.
What a pod.
Man, we've had a hell of an episode.
Should we drop some more capital cities?
I kind of want to. I want to know what else Tyler Googles and finds out as he is
It just shows up in propaganda
expanding his
machines.
worldly knowledge of our capital cities.
After the websites he was on, I'm wondering what's going to start coming up on him.
He's
All
in
of
a
us are going to
live
just have
chat.
some horrible ads now popping up because of our cookies. Cookies. Anyway.
Do you have any facts about Islamabad?
Press
I'll
the,
read to you what the one website that had it ranked as the #1 best capital in the world said.
And to anyone from
He
Islamabad,
bookmarked it
I'm
now.
sure it's great.
It is an amazing, highly developed, and absolutely safe capital city, which feels like something you only
That feels like a trap.
Absolutely.
It's regarded as one of the best capitals in Asia and can compete with any glorious capital city in the world, even those from highly developed countries. There is no doubt that international developments are rapidly appearing in nearly every corner of the city. Its unique and awe-inspiring surroundings make it more than a capital. And then there is a quote from, I think, the president.
Hold
of
on.
Pakistan.
Point of order.
Did you all catch that they refer to that as a part of Asia?
point of
yeah,
order.
Pakistan is in Asia.
Well, I would have. Yeah.
Tyler, you drafted something that was more than a capital.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Wow.
It's not just
way
a
of-
capital
way
city.
of
It's
life.
more than a capital
That's up
city.
to the voters here. I don't think that should count. Then.
Yep.
The end quote of this article about it says, thus making a Pakistani proud for what he/she is.
I think you could just take that first line and put daily face off every day in
Yeah.
there and it would work. Just
There
the
we
same.
go. Here's a picture of Islamabad.
Oh wow.
That's a lot of greenery.
That's
Really
more than a
nice.
capital city.
The
Not a lot of-
mountainous ranges?
Not a lot of tall buildings.
That's a good
Can
third
you
pick.
read the line about
Well,
things
hey.
developing in every corner of this flat city?
We are a city that
There's not
doesn't
a
have
lot
tall
going on
buildings
there.
before. We
They're
didn't have tall
developing.
buildings.
You know,
They're
I
developing a lot
appreciate
of
the
parks.
sprawling landscape.
Hmm.
It looks like the Stantec Tower right there.
Pretty much. Dead ringer.
If Salt Lake City doesn't work out, Gary,
Something
And
to
what
think
was
about.
what was the one you had, BM?
Fuck, if you asked me to find that again. Hang on.
Something Kote.
Capital of Sri Lanka.
I'm assuming it's this one.
Yeah,
Looks
it's
nice.
of course it's Sri Jawanapura
Okay.
Kote.
That's what I thought.
looks
Come
nice.
Give me 1 second here.
Like, look at the architecture here. It's beautiful.
It actually,
Come on. Man, they got some cool ass buildings here.
Come on, Liam, add her in.
Here we go. Can you repeat that one more time for me?
Yep. It is
Verbatim.
Sri Jayawardenepura Kote.
There you
That
go.
looks really
Oh,
nice.
that looks dope.
Fucking sick.
I'd go there.
It's like a
That's why I
poor
picked
man's
it.
Abu Dhabi.
Hey yo, can
why I
you
picked
send that to Jay and maybe we can work on a nation vacation?
We could see a cricket game.
Oh, I'd love to go to the maybe like a 5-day test
That'd be nice.
in Sri Jayawardenepura Kote.
I'm just saying, a big watch party right on the waterfront, right there.
great.
All kinds of Oilers
Everybody's having a
fans.
good time.
Be a good time.
Flight would be a little long though, Tyler. It's over 6 hours probably. I'm gonna go ahead and guess.
Oh, here's one more.
There, guess.
Oh,
Nobby is Dobby.
he's a free elf.
You can only see all this stuff if you watch us on YouTube, folks. Or
How
you
do
can
we do that, Liam?
You can subscribe whenever you like for free.
New strategy though.
New strategy. The show
does it
goes
mean?
out at 6 p.m. on the day of the recording because we need to let Gregor have his stuff go out, obviously. I don't know what I'm going to do on game days yet. But I will figure that out when the time comes.
We will broadcast it live during the game.
Yeah, and sometimes I'm in the chat. You can chat. Sometimes it won't be. But you can talk to everybody within the chat.
You too can offer your favorite capital cities.
You can. That would actually be nice.
I'd like to see it. In fact, just tweet at us, random capital cities. I'll probably forget that we did this.
I'll name the flag.
Why the
If you
hell are
listeners-
kids-
If you listeners made it to this part of the
What?
episode, can you go to our
Yeah.
YouTube channel, watch it again,
Mhm.
jump in on the chat?
What are you looking up right now?
I cannot find a Edmonton to Sri
Islamabad?
Lanka flight that's less than like 30 hours in terms of
Because
like
what
layovers
you
and
probably
stuff.
have to go
Where's it gonna be?
Edmonton to probably Vancouver, or maybe you go to Frankfurt or Amsterdam.
Edmonton, Vancouver, London, then Colombo. Edmonton,
Great show.
I think-
Edmonton, Calgary, London. Yeah, it's like,
Watch an episode of
you basically got to get
Colombo
to
and then you
London
get there.
first or Istanbul.
Was
Istanbul. You've gone past it.
Liam,
You
listen,
look very worried.
I don't
Gone
know,
past
man.
it.
I'm not actually gonna go.
You're
What do you
looking
mean?
it up. You're gonna get the ads.
Looking
You
it
got
up is the
Islamabad.
first step to going.
It's true.
Something to think about. Something to think about.
You get it all the spots down there.
How about the golf courses?
Oh, I bet they
Deserty.
got some great golf courses.
Massive sand pits.
Liv's doing an event there.
I suggest you go.
Oh, speaking of which, I'm 4 episodes into Full Swing.
I'm only 2 in.
Season's so good.
I can't wait to keep going.
So good. Let's wrap up the podcast for our friends at Greta. I want to get some score predictions ahead of tomorrow's game against the Capitals. Either you give us a score prediction or we have to do another round of 3v3. Those are the options. Right?
5-2 Oilers.
That I'm not giving one.
Nation Dan Oilers square off against the Capitals tomorrow against Alex Ovechkin and
Connor
Henrik-
McMichael and
Henrik's
Henrik's
Laperriere.
Lapierre.
Henry Leperry.
Lapierre.
Dan, what's your score prediction?
Henry the
A 7-1 Oilers win with Lapierre getting the goal for the Capitals.
Touchdown going in there.
Yeah, I could definitely see Perry getting the first goal.
Leho, you're up.
I will say 5-2 Oilers.
Tyler Gamchuk.
5-2 Oilers. I'm riding with Liam.
That's adorable. Rick?
5-1.
We got a 4-2 win coming your way. You put a couple of shekels down on that. It's probably about plus 1,500, plus 2,000. You know?
Hell yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to make that money?
Seems free.
Get that bread. Enjoy the rest of the week, everybody.
What's up, Nation citizens? If you like that video, then you need to be subscribed to the Oilers Nation YouTube. Podcasts, live shows, exclusive interviews, and analysis. Everything you need from your favorite voices at Oilers Nation. And you don't want to miss any of it, so hammer that subscribe button.